Welcome to this episode of Book Nerd Paradise, where we get to know an author as they tell us one of their favorite quotes, read from their work, pose a trivia question, and give away a book or two. Hi, I'm LRW Lee, author of the Andy Smithson Epic Fantasy Adventure Series. I wanted to make mention my blog at blog.lrwlee.com. If you're interested in getting the latest and greatest of what I'm up to, make sure you head on over there and subscribe to my blog, because that's where all of the posts in terms of new releases and progress to date and all that fun stuff. I keep my followers up to date via that method. So go ahead and head on over there, get signed up. It's blog.lrwlee.com. Well, today we have the privilege of getting to know Allie Cross. Allie grew up watching Bruce Lee movies and dreamed of being a kick-butt martial artist like Cynthia Rothrock. Well, she never became the kind of ninja she envisioned, but she does hold a black belt in awesome, she says. She lives in Utah with her kickin' husband, 2 sparring sons, 1 ninja cat, that I'd like to see, 1 sumo dog, and 4 Zen turtles. They sound rather peaceful. And a cache of nunchuck staffs, kamas, and other dangerous ninja weapons. Oh boy. So arm yourself, and then please join me in welcoming Allie Cross to our show today.
Hi, everybody. It's great to be here.
Allie, you're going to be reading from your YA fantasy novel, Become, which is book 1 in the Desolation series. So that we can get a feel for the book and series to some extent, would you give us a brief synopsis?
First of all, it's based on Norse mythology, so I've melded Norse and Christian mythology. So the story is about Black, who is the daughter of the devil, and he is ready for her to follow in his footsteps, and she's not so sure that that's the path she wants to take, but she also doesn't know how much she can change, whether her future is fate, like predestined, she has no choice, or if she can change it. So that's essentially how it is. It's a birth of a hero story that starts in a very dark and low place and ascends as high as one can go.
You've also selected a favorite quote. If you will, tell us what it is and then explain why it's a favorite.
Okay. This quote is a huge juxtaposition to this section that I'm reading. The section I'm reading is very dark, and this quote sounds all happy. The quote I chose is, "There is only one happiness in life, to love and be loved." And the quote is George Sand. I love this quote because it's essentially my life theme. I'm a girl who grew up with very little love and spent a long time trying to find it, oftentimes in all the wrong places. Now I'm happy to say I've found it. And it's not just what you get, it's what you give, and allow you to love them is a gift. Desi is a girl a lot like myself who hasn't had love. She doesn't really know what that is, but she's learning. And the scene that I'm going to read features the one person she loves. So that's kind of why I picked it for today, even though it seems like it flies in the face of everything I stand for.
You're also going to be giving away a book, or 2 maybe.
I am.
Yeah, what are you going to be giving away?
I'm going to give away 2 copies of Become. I love this book, and I hope that the winners will be thrilled to get it. And I want you to fight and work really hard and participate tons, because you want this book. You want this book. And there's 2 of them up for grabs.
Excellent. Okay, well, if that's not incentive enough, and by the way, what Ellie didn't say was these are paperbacks.
Oh, yes. The
So,
real deal. If you do prefer an e-copy, I'm happy to give that. Like if the winner would also like an ebook of the paperback, because I know I am a Kindle girl. I actually love to read on Kindle, but I love to have my favorite books in paperback. So if the winner would like an ebook as well, I'm happy to give that. But they can also have their paperback.
to enter to win, and Allie already, as you heard the fighting scenario happening again here, as her bio spoke to. So I get it. So she wants to pit you against each other. The
I do.
begins now.
I'm the mom of boys. Come on, bring it on. Fight, fight, fight.
And that's all the weaponry you need. Okay. So but please also, if you would, include a Twitter handle, a Facebook address, or an email address, so that if you are one of the 2 lucky winners of the paperbacks, we can be sure to get a hold of you. Allie, you're going to be reading from Become, which, as I said, it's book 1 in the Desolation series. Would you briefly set up the portion you're going to be reading from and then share with us?
The scene that I chose is a little bit of a spoiler, but not really. So I decided to give it to you because it's a powerful moment for Desi, my main character. And also I wanted to show a little bit of the grit and of the story and of her voice. So that's why I chose this section. This section happens about a third of the way through the first book. It is a dramatic turnaround for the main character, and it comes after she has spent her first forever, even though Desi is a teenage girl when she lives on Earth, or Midgard as it is in my story. She has lived for an undetermined amount of time. She's immortal. It's been timeless. And her father, Loki, or Lucifer, has been trying to get her to choose which side she's on, whether she's good or bad. And Desi's answer to that has been to not choose at all. So this scene is very pivotal, and by the end of the scene, you'll know why. When the screams filtered through my open windows, I sighed, releasing all the tension from living in a world I didn't understand. Screams, I understood. I'd never gotten used to them, but at least they were familiar. Screams have a life of their own, a brand, a flavor. You can tell a lot from them. Male, female, angry, surprised, fear, pain. And this scream spoke volumes. Female, angry, and in pain. And behind it all, fear. When she screamed again, I dropped the shirt I just pulled on. I knew the voice behind that scream. Lucy. I don't remember the stairs, the kitchen, or the back patio. I ran into the dark, the party having long since moved into the house. I ran until I came to the soft grass beyond the pool, and silence greeted me like a heavy blanket. I wasn't out of breath, but I struggled to still the beating of my heart so I could hear. Not a scream this time, but a desperate, whimpering moan. Running toward the shadowy gazebo, I wished I thought to grab my staff or even my nunchucks. Right now, I'd give anything for shoes on my feet that I could use to beat whatever bad guy I found. Because there would be a bad guy. I just didn't know of what variety. Here at Daniel's Hell on Earth, there was no guarantee I'd find a man. Any number of demons were welcome here. Though, by the time I could see the gazebo, clearly looming white against the stand of trees behind it, the soft grunting and quiet whimpers told me all I needed to know. This was the oldest kind of evil, and I could totally handle it. I approached the gazebo in silence, trying to see where the couple was and how I could best gain the advantage over the scumbag. The guy's bottle-bleached hair gave him away. I so should have put him in the hospital when I had the chance. Custom Made stood in the corner of the structure, his right hand braced against one of the corner beams high above Lucy's head. And the reason I couldn't hear Lucy screaming anymore? The animal had one hand of his belt wrapped around his fist, while the other end encircled her neck like a noose. Blood trickled from where the buckle pressed against the skin beneath her left ear. Every cell in my body urged me to fly at him with a sidekick that would break his back, but I couldn't risk hurting Lucy. I needed to get him away from her, now. Hey, Custom Made! Man, I wanted to bash the guy's face in. My shadow self lurched in anticipation, and for once, I welcomed it. He swiveled as if in slow motion, his fist still holding the belt tight around Lucy's throat. The whites of his eyes flashed as they turned to me, and his teeth shone in a slow, creeping smile. Come to join the party, little pony? Lucy squirmed. Her feet scrabbled to gain purchase, and her fingers clawed feebly at her neck. A low gurgling sound escaped her lips. My fingernails dug into my palms. Focus. Breathe. But the sight of Lucy's eyes rolling up into her head and Custom-Made's sick grin made rage roar through my veins. Power consumed me as I lost myself to the shadow. My anger and hatred for this waste of skin roiled through my blood like a cancer. I could feel myself expanding, the evil taint of my shadow self stealing my thought, my self-control, my humanity. And then I saw the reaction I was looking for, the fear that breathed life into my shadow. Custom Made faced me, the belt slipping from his grasp, his smile dropping from his face as Lucy slumped to the floor. I barely registered the fear that overtook him or the way he backed away from me, stumbling over Lucy's still form. I didn't think about movement with intention as Akaros had taught me. I didn't stop to wonder why the coward before me trembled or why a wet stain spread across the front of his pants. I didn't question why the shadow darkening his stretched face loomed like the blackened soul self of a demon. My clawed hands tore into him without thought, without care. When my teeth cut into his flesh and hot blood spilled into my mouth, I didn't think at all. Not once did I think I should stop. And that's it.
Guest author last episode, Regina Riles, posed a trivia question.
My trivia question was a book riddle, and the two hints were it's a children's fantasy novel, and it was one of my first fantasy books that I ever read. The riddle was, I am cozy and warm, but I am also frigid and cold. I am an entrance and an exit, a door between two worlds at war. What am I, and what book am I from? The answer is, it was The Wardrobe from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis.
Allie, you have a trivia question for our listeners. What is it?
Know that there's a ton of Game of Thrones fans out there. And I'm thinking you Game of Thrones fans might be the kind of people who would also enjoy my book. The trivia question is, what piece of sword play advice did Jon Snow give to Arya?
If you don't, especially if you don't know, but even if you do, make sure that you hit this little red button right over here called subscribe, so that next episode, especially if you don't know, you will automatically have the new episode pushed to you, and then you can find out what the answer is. So be sure that you subscribe to this channel, because you're also going to want to hear other episodes. We have all sorts of great authors on here, so avail yourself of that. It's free and it's I think, fun. But then again, I'm a little prejudiced, so okay. Oh, well. Anyway, okay. Are there any final thoughts you'd like to leave with our listeners?
Be awesome, because that's how you were designed to be. And also, if you're an aspiring writer, then I would love for you to visit my blog. I write mushy stuff, and I also write some really great writing tips on Wednesdays. So that's at alliecross.com. So come on by and visit me. You can check out all my books. There's 9 of them. This book is only the first one. So come by and check out the books and subscribe to my blog. I love readers, and I have an especially soft spot for aspiring writers. So come visit me.
Cool. And just so you know, show notes down below will have her website address as well as other ways to get a hold of Allie. So you know, you don't feel like you need to have written that down. All you need to do is open the show notes and click on the link, and presto, there you go. All right. Well, I hope you have enjoyed getting to meet Allie Cross just a little bit. Surely we've learned that she loves weapons and competition. Nothing else. I think she's the first guest I've had with that bent, but this is good. This is good. It's all good, right? Oh, dear. Anyway, so I'm LRW Lee, author of the Andy Smithson Epic Fantasy Adventure Series. And as I've mentioned in the past, but please do feel free. The ebooks of both Power of the Air's Passion as well as the first book in the series, Blast of the Dragon's Fury, the ebooks are available for free download on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Google Play. So please do get your copy. Thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate having viewers and love to get comments from you, certainly letting me know what you think about the show. Always looking to make some changes or improve things. So thank you so much for your participation, and I look forward to seeing you again next episode.